All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got a very interesting story for you coming out recently about Sweet Baby Inc. Now, Sweet Baby Inc. is trying to get smart, ladies and gentlemen. We've been saying this for a while, that they're not going to be showcasing who they're working with up front. They're going to wait until the credits roll for the game. They're not going to announce it. The studios that partner with them don't want it announced as well. They're all trying to hide about consulting with Sweet Baby Inc. Well, eventually the truth will always come out, as we know, because apparently now Spitfire Interactive is now responding to its game Capes being added to DEI Detected. Now, this game just recently got added today to DEIDetected.com, as well as to Sweet Baby Inc. Detected on the Steam Curator page, because quite frankly, they tried to hide it, right? Sweet Baby Inc. did not list Spitfire Interactive as a client of theirs, and Spitfire Interactive didn't mention that Sweet Baby Inc. worked with them up until the game's credits rolled, and you saw in the credits that there was consultants. Chris Kindred was on there, right? So Sweet Baby Inc. was hired for this particular game, and they purposefully lied about it. They purposely tried to hide it, and now they got caught. So let's get into this article, guys, from That Park Place. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So it says Spitfire Interactive issued a response after its recently released game Capes was added to KABRUTUS Rambo's DEI Detective website after it was revealed that it consulted with Sweet Baby Inc. KABRUTUS Rambo announced the game was added to DEI Detected on X. He wrote, "Sup guys, I bring a new Sweet Baby Inc. game for y'all." He then shared a link to DEI Detected, which notes that Sweet Baby Inc. is listed in the game's credits, including the company's co-founder, David Bedard, and one of its main agitators, Chris Kindred. The credits were pulled from YouTuber Christopher Odd's channel. So again, they're all in damage control. They're all trying to hide this. And the reason why they're doing this too, ladies and gentlemen, is because they know that most gamers don't read the credits, right? Most gamers don't actually watch the credits. They skip them entirely after they beat the game, and they never look at them ever again. So they're trying to now put the information someplace that they know most people are not going to find it, to try to minimize backlash, or at least try to minimize the chances of people finding out that they actually worked with Sweet Baby Inc. It is a disgusting tactic, but we know exactly why they're doing it. Sweet Baby Inc., the name, Sweet Baby Inc., the company, is a death note for any game that partners with them. This is something we're trying to get through to people's minds, and yet for some reason, they just refuse to acknowledge that fact. Sweet Baby Inc. has killed off many games recently after the whole Gamergate 2 fiasco, and they are continuing to do so. Now, the funny thing is, they'll try to gaslight you and say, well, yeah, we worked with Sweet Baby Inc., but that's not the point. Is the game fun? Is the game awesome? Is the game exciting to play? None of that matters. You guys don't get it, right? None of you developers get it in your minds. It's not about the fact of whether or not your game is fun. It's not about the fact of whether or not your game has awesome gameplay, is cool, or whatever. It's the simple fact that you are choosing to give money and hire a company that has openly attacked people for just having a difference of opinion. A company that tried to get somebody banned from their Steam account, their YouTube, everything. A company that tried to get an entire page stopped because people wanted more transparency in video games. A company that doesn't actually have diversity of thought. They can be diversity consultants all they want. They can have all the fake titles that they want, but at the end of the day, there is not a single bit of diversity that actually matters in Sweet Baby Inc. It's a company that says they do nothing, and yet constantly we see the same thing happening with every game they're partnered with, almost as if they do something, right? You want to gaslight people and tell me that you're spending money to hire these people who supposedly do nothing? So you're hiring someone and giving them money, and they supposedly don't do a fucking thing with that money. So are you retarded, or are they liars? Like, which one is it? Then it says Spitfire Interactive developer Penta addressed the game being added to DEI Detective website, writing on the game's Steam forums. "We already had 3 months and 14 pages of constructive discussion around DEI in the forum, and delivered a gameplay update focusing on exactly what the player base wanted, leading to 80% positive recent reviews." He continued, "You don't have to take my word for it. You can actually read it for yourselves here. but we already were able to explain that SBI only worked briefly, mainly to bring the 4 to 5 people strong indie dev team in contact with fitting voice actors together with devs 2 years ago, and many first skeptical players were able to find out that there is no hidden agenda or something else we forced down your throats or other concerns they had besides a well-rounded diverse cast, obviously. Well, you're not addressing the main elephant in the room. It's not even about forcing things down our throats or DEI, whatever. It's about the fact that Sweet Baby Inc. as a whole is a terrible fucking company and a bad look for you to work with. They're a company that is openly against everything that you're trying to market to, right? You're trying to market your game to gamers. You're trying to sell these games to gamers. You're trying to get people who are into video games to buy this particular video game. SBI is inherently against them in every manner. Not only have their employees openly come out and said so, but the company practice has proven that to be true. Penta then concluded, so why don't we just focus on the most important question that the OP was mentioning already? Is capes fun? And this is exactly why I brought up the positive reactions towards our most recent update. We think you would enjoy it if you gave it a chance. That's not the main question though. The main question is, why did you feel like it was necessary to hire Sweet Baby Inc., a DEI consultancy firm that supposedly does nothing, and then once you bring them in, they are trying to hide the fact that you're a client or they're a client of yours? Why are you guys hiding this information? What is the problem? It's because you know what the negative connotation of working with Sweet Baby Inc. is. You know that, and you're purposely trying to hide it. While Penta claims that most recent reviews are positive, the most helpful reviews in the past 30 days are actually negative. Shinelight bashed the game and wrote on July 31st, the tactics aren't fun, the cast is a diversity quota checklist, not actual characters, the game's tone is all over the place, I don't want to play it and I don't want to watch it for its story either. In both gameplay and story, the game acts like a derivative of a derivative of a derivative. There's no soul here, nothing interesting. It's like a superhero game made by people who hate superheroes. That's exactly what it... That's actually a really good comparison, because essentially it's true, right? It's games made by people who hate gamers. Think about that for a second. Why would you be in the games industry making games and helping to work on games if you absolutely cannot stand gamers as a whole, or video games, right? Most of these people who consult on video games don't actually play video games. That's the sad part about it. So why are you in this business? Well, apparently it's an easy answer. It's because this is by far one of the easiest businesses to co-opt and push DEI consultancy as some sort of legitimate business practice. They've been able to convince most AAA Western developers that they are important to hire. So now they've essentially grifted their way to the top, and they get all this free money. Not only that, they get money from governments too. They get government grants just because they're diverse. So it's a very easy grift. It's a very easy con for people to push out there and get free money from, because you're essentially creating problems and then providing the solution. That's what you're doing. You're like a politician. Shinelight bashed the game and wrote on July... Oh, we already read that. The game also does a scummy thing of making it look like you have alternate costumes to equip, but trying to equip them instead takes you to the Steam DLC page to try to charge you $11 for it. That's screwed up. That's mobile game crap. I lost a lot of goodwill for the devs when I saw that, he continued. The missions have BS in them that tactics games shouldn't have. He stated, like objectives you don't know until partway through the mission, which would have dictated the whole way you run it. They're contrived and don't feel natural. I was putting up with it until one mission that was too annoying for me to continue playing. I stopped at the mission where you kidnap the streamer girl atop the skyscraper. He said, it's an escort mission. You get her to follow you. You have to be ahead of her. You have to run her onto this elevator so she can't escape. But to do that, you also have to be on the elevator. You also need to escape. Why don't you take that elevator? You've already got at least one character on the elevator to get the NPC escort there. There is no reason. It's just a contrivance to make the mission harder. You instead have to run to a totally different area while enemies spawn infinitely in your path. Also, I heard no music during the missions, he added. All I had were the same canned statements with atrocious accents. So again, unfortunately, they might have spent a lot of money on DEI consultancy where they could have spent that money on voice acting, for example, or making the game just a little bit better, a little more enjoyable, perhaps a little more realistic in some way, shape, or form. But no, they wanted to partner with Sweet Baby Inc., and then they want to gaslight you and tell you that they only were there for a brief time. It doesn't matter. You partnered with Sweet Baby Inc., your game is dead. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.